Your turn. How do you, is it claps? Is that, do you clap people to make them listen?
Yeah, three claps.
Hello, everybody. So that's the end of the test. Now, it is a little bit of a challenge test. So we want to make sure at the end to go through some of the problems and talk about how you should solve them. All right? So there's obviously not time to do every single problem. So maybe I'll start talking about some that I saw some questions about as we went through. So I think one that I saw a lot of questions about was number 8. That was the one about grass covering an area. So this one, yeah, so you were buying for someone was buying for their garden or their yard, I think. They were buying bags of grass seed, right? So it was 1 foot, it's 1 square foot is what it's called, which means it's a square with 1 foot on each side. So I saw some people have a question about that. So the question was that Carter wants to cover her backyard in grass seed. 1 bag covers 1 square foot of the yard. If Carter's backyard is 7 feet by 8 feet wide, how many bags of grass seed do they need? So there's a couple different ways you can think about that. So if you know multiplication already, this might be a pretty easy question. So if you know about multiplication, you would do 7 times 8 for the dimensions of the yard, and you would get what? What's 7 times 8? 56. Yep. If you didn't know multiplication yet, that was okay. You could still figure it out. What? 8. Yeah. So you can like do that sort of thing, or you can even draw a picture and count how many squares you get. So one side's 7 feet, right? So we get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the other side's 8. So we would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you can count out how many boxes are in there, because each bag of grass seed is going to cover one of those boxes. So the answer to that one was 56. Yeah. All right. I did see some people confused about the circle one with the semicircle. So a semicircle, do you know what that is?
Yeah, semicircle, like half of it is half a semicircle, maybe like.
Yeah, so a semicircle, if we talk about like semi-monthly or a semi-truck, it means in half. It means in half. So I think this was 9. You have a semicircle, it's half a circle, like this, and it's cut into 6 pieces, right? So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
6 pieces.
6 pieces, and then you pick 3 of them. And then the question is, how much of the circle, like the whole circle, is this? Can you see?
Well,
One out of 4, right? Yeah, so it's 6, it's a semicircle split into 6 pieces, and you take 3 of those pieces. But then it says, what do those pieces represent in a circle? Right? So you start with a semicircle. What? Yeah, you do. We started with the semicircle, divide into 6, pick 3. But the question isn't how much of the semicircle is that 3, it's how much of the circle. Yeah, it's 1/4. No, you can't change your answer, sorry. So number 10, so someone asked just a second ago about number 10. That one did have multiplication and the order operations in it. So if you are first, 2nd grade, if you don't quite know what multiplication is, you may have struggled with that one, which is okay because you're getting graded with the other 1st and 2nd graders. Yeah, well, what? You know yeah. So some of you still might know the order of operations in first and second grade, but I'm pretty sure it's really covered in like third grade. But we'll do 10 real quick so people can look at it. So it's 1/3 times 2 plus 5 plus 1/3 times 12 minus 7. Hey, everybody. Can anybody tell me what you would do first with order of operations? What? The brackets come first. Parentheses always come first in the order of operations. So we have the 1/3 times, and we do this. What's 5 plus 2? 7. And then 1/3 times, what's 12 minus 7? You can shout it out. 5. Then we do multiplication, and it's multiplication with fractions. Do you know how to do multiplication with fractions? Yeah. Okay. So for those who don't know, you basically put it over 1, the whole number, and then you multiply the tops and the bottoms. So 1 times 7 is 7, 3 times 1 is 3, and then 1 times 5 is 5, 3 times 1 is 3. If you have the same denominator on a fraction, can you add it? Yep. So how do you add these two things? Yeah. You add the numerators and keep the same denominator. So don't add the denominator. The numerator is the top. So add the tops, keep the bottoms. So you get 7 plus 5 is what? 12. Over 3. And then who knows what this is? That's it. It's 4, exactly. Yes. So we get 4, which was D for 10. Yeah. Here's another kind of interesting one that I think everybody can get, but everyone could maybe not get too. So we have a pattern one. Does anyone recognize that pattern? Like the name of it? Do you know what it is? Mm-hmm. It is adding. I think you know what you're talking about. It's called the Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence is a really cool sequence that comes up a lot. Did you want to say something? Do you want to say something? No, behind you. Good. You found something on the floor? Okay, we'll get that at the end, okay? Fibonacci numbers not quite. So it's the pattern was 1, 1, 2. And so you start with 2 1s. Someone asked me about that. You start with 2 1s because then you add them up to get 2s. And then the next thing you add the 2 and the 1 to get 3. Add the 3 and the 2. I'm glad you like them. To get 5. 5 and 3 gets 8. 8 and 5 is 13. And so yes. So yeah, the question is what comes after this, and it would be 13 plus 8, which is 21. And so 21 was your answer to that question. And then I have 4. Yeah, so if you couldn't see the pattern, it may have been hard, but it is just a bunch of addition. Is there any other question you guys wanted in particular for me to talk about? What question was it? Did you want to hear about it? Or did you just want it written down? Did you want me to talk about the question? The woodcutter. That was a bit of a challenge one, I think. Do you remember the number? Oh, the number 12. Number 12? All right, we'll talk about the one where the carpenter's cutting wood. I think that one's kind of challenging because you have to kind of think backwards, but it is definitely doable. You also have to know meters and centimeters, which is unit stuff. Does anyone know how many centimeters in a meter? Yeah, how many? What? Yeah. What was that? Which one is
Because
it?
if you take away centimeter.
Oh, if you take away centi. Does anyone have a different answer? Yeah. 100 centimeters and 1 meter. So you did need to know that, and you need to know what decimals kind of mean. Well, let's talk about that one. So there's a couple ways you can do it. Either you can go to all the answers and go through the process as though that was the right answer, or you can do it in a slightly different way. Yeah.
I didn't have
Yeah.
for example, like someone has someone who half a stock and then he saves and then now gets 12 degrees of plastics like
Yeah, we'll do problem 12 right now. But yeah, you have the right idea there. So number 12, you want to read through everything that they did and go backwards. So it says a carpenter cut a piece of wood in half. That's the first step. So cut in half. That's step 1. And then cut off 20 more centimeters. What operation is cutting off 20 centimeters? Yeah, what is the operation if we're taking that away? What operation are we using? Minus, right? So 2 is you take minus 20. And then at the end, you have 5 meters. So at the end, 5 meters. So what you want to do is you want to go backwards, right? So you add 20 centimeters exactly. And then you multiply by 2 or just add it to itself. Either way you want to. Yeah, so 5, and remember 100 centimeters in a meter. So this is going to be, so 5 meters plus 20 centimeters. This is 5.2 meters.
Yes, the 10 times 2 equals 10.
Yeah. So yeah, so opposite of step 1 then is take it times 2. So you can either add 5.2 to 5.2 or take it times 2, however you want to think about it. So then 5.2 times 2 is 10.4, which was B. All right. What? The very last one or the last multiple choice? The absolutely last one? All right. 20 was probably one of the hardest ones. It was the very last one. So 20 is talking about percentages, right? So we want to look at this. So 20. So it says what? 25% of a number
Oh, wait, this is.
is 15. And the question is, what is 75% of the number? Now, this might look kind of hard, but there's one thing you may know a lot about that would help you with this. So 25% is a quarter, right?
Yeah.
So can you think of anything where a quarter of something's 15? Do you have an idea?
Yes, multiply 15 by 4,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get what the numbers, and then
Yeah, so that's a good way to do it. You can do 15 times 4 and then subtract. Yeah, did you know? Yeah, that's a good idea. So the way I think about it is, what's a quarter of an hour? Does anyone know? 15 minutes, right? So what's a number, right? That's 25% of it's 15. It's 60 because there's 60 minutes in an hour, right? And then what's 3/4 of an hour? 45 minutes. So the answer to this one's 45. There were other ways to do it, But I was thinking if people didn't quite know like percentages and fractions and multiplication very well, that they could get something like that with hours. Yeah. Yeah, so another way to do it is to take 15 times 4. This is 60. And then we want 75% of it. So d minus 15 is 45, something like that. So there are plenty of ways to do that one. It depended on how you thought of it when you were doing it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's very true. Yeah. What? So you can't leave until your parents are going to be here. Plus, we have certificates to give you. So I think maybe one more question, and then we'll get all those certificates out. Did anyone have a question that really they want to know the answer to? Yeah. What? 19? Okay. 19 was the word problem. You can do it with guess and check pretty with just like a few steps, but if you're running out of time, you may have panicked a bit. So I'm not going to write all of it on the board, but Alyssa wants to make fruit salad for a picnic. She wants to make as much fruit salad as possible to share with all of her friends, but she only has $10 to spend on ingredients. A cup of grapes costs $1. A cup of blueberries is only 50 cents, and a cup of raspberries $2.50. She wants to have at least 1 cup of each fruit, and she also likes grapes more than blueberries. So then how many, so she wants to have 2 times as many grapes as blueberries, because otherwise you just do all blueberries and you get as many cups as you wanted, right, with the $10. So you need a cup of each, so you can kind of guess and check that one if you want. So 1 cup of each at least. So we have blueberries, grapes, and raspberries. So you get $2.50 from this. Then grapes is $1 and 50 cents here, right?
Grapes need to have 2 right with that.
Yeah, so right off the bat, because we already have a cup of grapes, we now have to have 2 cups, or wait, which one was more? No, we have to have 2 cups of grapes, right? So now this is $2. Do we ever want to put more raspberries in if we only have $10? No. So we just have to increase one by one the grapes and the blueberries. But every time we go up a cup in blueberries, we got to go up a cup in 2 cups in grapes. Right. So go up a cup here. 2 cups, 50 cents each is $1. So now we get 4 cups here and $4. Do we still have money? Oh, 2, sorry. Oh, no, 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say.
We don't want to add a raspberry because we want to have the most food that we want, right?
Oh, yeah, we can.
Yeah, you could add raspberries, but the question wanted to have as much as possible. So you only want to use the least expensive ones. We have more money, so we try to increase again and see what happens. So we'd have to go to 6 and 3. This would be $1.50. This would be 6. Can we go up any more?
No.
No. This is our budget of $10. So then the question was, how much fruit salad? So how many cups? So 3,
10 cups.
6, 1, 10 cups.
Oh.
So add those up, and 10 cups was your answer.
Okay, I just answered like I didn't answer.
Yeah. You get partial credit on those, so if you did like any piece of it, you might still get points in that section. All right. So I think that's all the time we're gonna have for questions. If there's like a little one, I can answer it, but I can't go through a whole one. Anybody have a little question they want to ask? Did you have a question? Someone will take you to the bathroom. We're about to leave. You do need to get your certificate yet. So probably stay in their seats and bring the certificates around, or what should we do there? Should I have them stay in their seats or line up at the door? For certificates.
the seat. We'll call the name, let them raise their hand at this.
All right. So yeah, so stay at your seats for now. Can you take him to the bathroom? We'll give you your certificate and then your parents should be coming around in the next few minutes, I'd assume. Okay, well, that's also, yeah, we'll figure that out. All right? Do I just end the Zoom?
Yes.
Just the recording or all of the Zoom?
It's recording.
It's recording.